Hello, everybody. Welcome to this final episode of Maria, Kimitachi ga Umareta wake. Now, I finished the game, and I think I got a pretty good ending. There's definitely multiple endings to this game, and you'll see at the end why I finally realized that. But I'm definitely curious what you guys think of the conclusion of this game. And obviously I made a few choices that weren't the best choices. And so part of the mystery actually remains unsolved. Apparently if you make, the perfect choices and you get, the 100% best ending, the truth is revealed and you get to learn, everything about this story, which is really interesting and really well written and well conceived. So let me know in the comments what you think at the end, and I'll give you my own impression of what I think happened at the end. But let's get into it. This is the final chapter of Maria, Kimitachi umareta wake. The reason you were all born into Maria. Poor girl. Chapter 7, Maria to Maria. If you remember, these are the two ways to write Maria's name. I mentioned it in the previous episode that it was a little suspicious. From the beginning, our hero Takano was writing Maria in katakana. And actually her name is in hiragana, Maria, the Japanese style of writing, instead of Maria, the katakana version, which is usually reserved for foreign words, such as the statue of the, goddess Maria, the one that was broken, if you remember, a while back. And that's the reason why Maria was written on that statue in katakana, because it was just the Maria statue. It had nothing to do with the actual Maria girl herself that's in this game. But anyway, here in the opening scenes for this chapter, our hero, Takano, is remembering that the doctor here helped him out quite a bit after his father died. Remember, his father died, of course. That's one of the main themes. Looking for a blood donor for him and helped him out here at the hospital. Also, remember, he kind of fainted in the previous episode? This head doctor with the glasses on, and that's kind of where the episode ended. But our hero is just kind of reminiscing here about this doctor really helped him out and also got him this job here at this prestigious hospital. I'm starting to get hints this place is supposed to be really prestigious and, like a really famous hospital for being excellent in service. But after that sort of recap, our hero gets a phone call from the kind of detective-like guy. I'm calling him a detective. I don't know if he's actually a detective or not, but, he was part of the case, for Maria's parents when they were murdered. I'm going to tell him I'm not busy and I have some time. I could have said there that I was busy and I couldn't see him. But he has something he really wants to talk to us about this afternoon, and wondering if he can come in and see us, and if we're going to be available. So I'll say yes, I'm available. So he's going to come in and talk to us about something important, I'm assuming. Some of these poses make the hero look kind of creepy, to be honest. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a double twist and actually our main character, Takano's the villain the whole time, right? So he wants to see Maria one more time. I remember a couple episodes back he went in to see Maria, and then he left pretending like he had, mistakenly gone to the wrong room when Maria woke up. But this time he wants to see Maria and actually talk to her and ask her a few questions, and he's asking us permission if that's okay, if we go ahead and go in and see Maria, because we're the doctor, of course, and usually strangers aren't allowed unless they get special permission. So I'm going to go ahead and let him see Maria. Because this guy doesn't seem like a bad guy to me. But honestly, with everything that's been going on with the hospital, with the cover-up about the mistaken, death in the hospital that was, either mistaken medicine or some kind of mistaken surgical procedure or something. In Japan, that is a huge thing. In Japan, a hospital does not make mistakes. Serious mistakes. I know I've heard lots of horror stories about it happening in other countries, in America especially. Mistakes, surgery on the wrong person, the wrong kind of surgery, the wrong kind of medicine that actually killed somebody instead of saving their life. But in Japan, if that happened, that would be a serious problem, and the entire hospital would be closed down. And it would be a really, really big, serious issue, whereas in the States, it's not, even though it should be, to be honest. So he's got a few questions, or he wants to talk to Maria here, and she vaguely remembers him from that time he was sort of leaving the room, pretending that he had, gotten the wrong room. But he reveals that, he was, a person of interest when involved with Maria's parents' murders 11 years ago, and he was, trying to find out the truth about the story. And Maria says, whatever I know, or whatever I can remember, I'll tell you. Arigato. So remember, Maria did remember a few things from that backflash. And so he wants to know all the details that he can get out of Maria here so he can kind of solve the mystery. So after a long talk about that, I went ahead and went to the office of the head doctor here, since he's lying down since he passed out in the previous one. And there's some papers on his desk here. Which is interesting because these are the documents, the information about Maria. Maria's name, once again I mentioned it, the two Marias, the two ways to write her name. And there's like two versions of the document, the way it's written. And I actually remember that scene. If you go back and watch the very first episode, the very opening scene, our hero, he picks up that piece of paper and you could see Maria's name on it, but it's katakana. When this whole game first started, and it was his first counseling session with her. So something strange is going on. Why is there two separate documents for Maria with the different spelling of her name? It's a little odd. But he was just talking to himself there in the office, and as I left the office, the nurse stopped me and said that the head doctor's cleaning has arrived. Kokuyosha is the cleaning company. Japanese cleaning, dry cleaning places are amazing. They do like amazing work, seal everything and then deliver it. And it's pretty expensive to get your suit, specially cleaned by these companies, but they do amazing jobs. I've had to have my suit done a few times. But they like seal it up all real nice. It's almost like having a brand new suit delivered to you. They deliver, and if there were things in the pockets or whatever, they seal those up too and do just a stellar job. So she gave us the thing, and we're just going to go ahead and take it and put it in the head doctor's office, since he's resting in one of the hospital rooms, as you recall, because he fell down or passed out or something happened. I know I'm repeating myself here, but and yeah, a lot of this he's just talking to himself. You know, Takano, as he walks down the hall, he often repeats like some of the clues and some of the things that have been going on. He's remembering now that when he was a kid, you know, the doctor called him by name instead of Takano Sensei or whatever, called him by name when he was a little boy. So we're going back, we're going to go back to his office here, and we noticed in the pocket of the dry cleaning that there's something in the pocket left there by the dry cleaning company. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the locker here. But the locker is locked, so we can't hang his dry cleaning in the locker for his suit. So he's going to try this key. Sono toki. So you'll notice from the dry cleaning they like zip it up. Like if there are items or something in the pocket, the dry cleaning place will like zip them up and keep them separate while the suit goes through the dry cleaning machine, and then put everything together at the end. So you got this sealed up key. But it doesn't work on the locker. You know, to open the locker and to hang the hang his suit up in there. So our Takano tries it on the drawer, and it actually works. Getting kind of snoopy here, and there's a diary here. So he's wondering if this is the head doctor's diary, that guy with the glasses. And the final entry is the date just before the murder. November 29. That was the day that his father had gone, you know, to the house, and that whole scene played out with, remember Maria hiding behind the rose bush, and then the statue falling on her father's head, and her remembering that there was a mystery person in the house. So we have a kind of final diary entry. What's weird is, why does the head doctor have this diary in his possession, since apparently this diary belongs to Maria's father? So it talks about Berna's birthday, and that he's going to buy her some roses as some flowers. And, you know, it's been a while that they've been able to have a really nice time, spend time together at home. So, sort of seems to be on the up and up here so far. But it seems strange the way that this is written. He's saying, you know, who wrote this information, because a little bit of it is actually after the fact. Like the murdered person actually wrote it himself. There's information about the scene of the crime. And so he's wondering, could it be the person that Maria said was in the house? what's going on? Maria must be in danger. So maybe the head doctor is after Maria. He's not sure why. But his guess is that the doctor was the one at the house. And that's the only way he could figure out that the doctor got the diary from the house is the head doctor with the glasses is the third person, that was in the house at the time of the murders. So we went to Maria's room and she wasn't there, guys, of course. And so I got a choice. Can go to the nurse's station, the room where all the medicines are kept, or I can go to the lobby. I think at this time it's after hours, it's evening. Maria's not in her room, so that's definitely a bad thing. But yeah, it's hard to explain. The writing in that diary was a little odd. Kind of like it was written future tense, as if somebody knew the murder was going to happen. And some of the details of the after the murder were written there. And once again, Maria kept saying there was somebody else in the house. And since everybody was killed, except for her, and this diary is in the head doctor's desk, it had to be him. So I'm just making choices here, running around the hospital. There's nobody at the nurse's station at this time. Maria, itai doko itanda? Where did you go? So we're switching scenes here. Maria's wondering why we're doing a counseling session at this hour of the night. He says Takano Sensei, which is us, the hero, wants to do a final special counseling session with you before you're discharged from the hospital. Yeah, that sounds a little too suspicious. Remember, we had a week left, and so she's going to be, discharged from the hospital pretty soon. But yeah, obviously he's got some intent here. So yeah, definitely putting the pieces together, he had to be the other person at the house, because that's the only way he could have gotten the diary in his locked desk. The problem is the strange final entry. So we're going around, I'm asking the nurse if she's seen Maria. She said, the detective guy was here a little while ago looking for you. And had something else to say to you. And is waiting in your little office. So I'm running to my office. Because maybe he knows, or maybe he's got an inkling of what's going on now. Or maybe he's had an idea all this time, but he hasn't had any proof. So he's asking, where's Maria? Inainda, she's not here. She's not here? What do you mean? That's a serious problem. So yeah, putting the pieces together, if you remember the last episode, the cover-up, I'm pretty sure the head doctor covered up the hospital's mistake with the death of that single patient, him, and he deleted all the data in order to make it look like the hospital is reputable and, a good hospital, since that mistake would close him down and make him look like, a failure. And he probably thinks Maria knows the truth now, so he's taking her to the roof in the elevator. So things are happening pretty quick here. Our heroes are wondering where in the world they could be because, yeah, the head doctor's gone and Maria's gone. And we keep switching back here. He's being nice and friendly. We're going to go up to the roof to have some nice fresh air for your final counseling session. Dozo, Maria-chan. Please. Arigatou gozaimasu. She doesn't seem to be aware. It's cold up here, but the fresh air is kind of nice. Oh, I don't see Takano-sensei yet. You know, since supposedly he's going to be there for a special counseling session. But yeah, that's not how things are going to go down. Well, I think it's time we came clean. Eh? Stop beating around the bush. I'm actually using terrible English expressions to translate. Don't play dumb with me. Sensei, you have a scary face. So Maria's starting to get freaked out here by the head teacher. And the doctor looked out the window. And there's Maria on the roof with the head doctor, who is Kamida, that's his name. Hurry, we gotta run to the roof. Yes, we do. So, what is it you want from me, girl? You know, he thinks that she's gonna blackmail him or something. The diary, your father's diary, what was written there. It's like, what is it? You know, what are you after? Money? You know, revenge? And Maria says, diary? My dad's diary? What are you talking about? So you don't actually know anything, do you? Shirimasen, I don't know anything. So that diary, who wrote in that diary? Who wrote the information, the incriminating information? Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is the end for you. You will fall asleep soon. Very soon you'll just sleep, and then this will be the end of all the problems. So, you, my mother, my father, hurry, hurry! We're pushing the button here. The detective guy says we should just take the stairs. But Takano says the elevator is the fastest way to get to the roof. But we need to get up there as quick as possible. Yamete, dare ga tasukete, somebody help me. Don't worry, you'll just be asleep for a little while, and it'll all be over. Takano, tasukete. So she's calling for our hero, Takano. However, Maria is not somebody to mess with. He's saying how sad it'll look like another suicide, and nobody will think anything of it because you've already tried to commit suicide once, so this will just be the second suicide attempt, which will actually be a successful one. Remember in the first episode, you know, she was brought to the hospital in the first place because of a suicide attempt. And he's pulling out his knife. Guns are not allowed in Japan, so the murder will have to take place with a knife. So he wants to be the... You know, it's necessary for him to be one of the greatest doctors in all of Japan. And for that, his hospital has to have the perfect record without that blemish or that mistake that they had in the archives previously. The girl named Sachiko. You are the one. My mother, my father. You're still awake, huh? You, my mother, my father, koroshita no ne? You're the one that killed my parents. It was necessary. So apparently her parents found out about this mistake that he had made and that he had covered up. And they were going to rat on him. And Takano's father didn't want him to do it just yet because he knew it would lead to some bad things, especially with Maria. Wanted to keep it silent. That's why they were fighting and arguing in the room about that information. But now she's sure. She remembers his face. He was the other one in the house when the murders took place. Apparently the elevator stopped on the 3rd floor and it's not moving. So our hero is sort of pounding on it, yelling at it to move. The detective is saying, we should have taken the stairs. So this is delaying us. But yeah, suddenly we have a bunch of stuff going on here. But it's going to be too late for you, Maria. I see you're not wearing a mask. This is the true you, isn't it? So if you try to kill Maria, you better run away. The other Marias will come out. Why should I run away from you? If you try to kill me, he will come out. Yeah, I was gonna say, Maria's got a special defense. Don't get any closer. Aren't you the one that wanted to save and help people? He's trying to talk him down. It's like, this isn't the way to do things. It's going to end bad for you. I have another way of ending things. Oh, look at that smile. Now everybody related to the case is dead, pretty much. Wow. Okay, there's a lot to digest there, guys, in this final chapter. And after the credits, we'll see what else we've got. But, yeah, I'm really curious. Let me skip the credits. The staff, credit roll has always been the same. So here's the epilogue. Kimi to Merry Christmas. A Merry Christmas with you. So we start the epilogue with Rainbows 98. But yeah, I'm really curious, guys. What I think happened there at the end... Oh, hey, see you again. Otsukaresama deshita. You solved the mystery. Got one of the endings. So yeah, there are multiple endings. I knew it. This is a letter from Break, the actual company that made the game. But it says, your journey is far from over. Try again to get all the clues and solve the mystery of Maria. I actually think I got a pretty decent ending, though, there, guys, to be honest. But Yeah, sorry. What I was saying is I'm super curious what you guys think happened there at the end. I think that because Osiris, voluntarily left Maria in the previous episode, that Horus, Horus was the kind of creepy evil one. In the scene with Maria committing suicide and then being put into the hospital, I think that was faked by Horus. Horus sort of made it look like Maria committed suicide so that Maria would be put into the hospital. That way Maria could be close to the actual murderer and the mystery could be solved that way. Basically, Horus, the other version of Maria, has been, scheming things from the beginning. This is just my conjecture. And I think there at the end that Horus, took over Maria, of course, because you could see her expression. She dodged the knife, and then she sort of fainted and fell to the ground like she was the normal Maria. And then the head doctor was acting weird. And then suddenly he jumped off the roof and committed suicide. So I think Horus switched places. And Horus left Maria. She was actually warning him about that. And entered into the head doctor and then made him jump off the roof. Just like he did the suicide with Maria in the beginning. So Horus planned the entire thing from the start. That's my interpretation of the ending. But I'm curious what you guys think. What do you think actually happened there? Because I'm basing my guess on the expressions on their face during that cutscene. Rewind this video and watch that cutscene closely. You could see obviously Horus taking over and smirking at the doctor, and then dodging the knife, and then the doctor acting strange, and then suddenly committing suicide himself by jumping off the roof. And once again, the diary, the final entry in the diary, obviously the head doctor didn't write it because it was incriminating. I'll bet you Maria wrote it, but Maria wrote it as Horus after the murders, and so she didn't realize it. So she wrote the information down in the diary, since it was kind of a strange entry, and it couldn't have been her father's writing or anybody else's. So Horus, in that very first episode, Horus wrote down, that incriminating information. He, pretended like he was going to kill Maria so that she would get into this hospital on purpose. And then while being in the hospital, he could connive and actually get revenge on the murderer of her parents, which Horus knew, and of course Maria actually herself knew. She just couldn't remember because of the shock. Here we have kind of a nice scene. She gave the white rose to the detective guy in thanks, and the detective guy is asking, Takano, "Oh, are you jealous because I got something and you didn't get anything from the lovely girl?" I'm a little bit behind here in what they're saying, but yeah, we've got kind of our happy reunion here, and Maria's going back to school. She's got her cute school uniform on. Definitely looks better on her than that pajama outfit that she's been wearing the entire time in the hospital. But as a reward for Takano, she's gonna go with him they're gonna see Levi. The guy's like saying, that's a famous date course, isn't it? Maria's like, that's not why we're gonna go. He's got a special surprise waiting for the both of us. And I'm sure he'd be happy if you also came too, Takano. So we're gonna go see the priest guy, remember, who's kind of her godfather or kind of her protector now, since, sadly her family's gone. Yeah, as I said, the email there, the email there that I got at the end from Break, the company that made this game, says that I'm missing some details. And yeah, one of the details that I'm definitely missing is how Maria got the 4 personalities, the 4 different personalities. In all honesty, I played this game, I read every single line, every single dialogue, I made choices, but I didn't really get a clue as to how her multiple personalities came about. Like, did she create them from reading the book about Egypt? Or was she sort of possessed by the 4 deities? Like the 4 Egyptian gods, which seemed more likely to me, instead of a sort of schizophrenic, multiple personality disorder. Usually people with multiple personality disorders at least will remember things that the other personality did. I'm not a doctor, I could be wrong, but it seems like it was a completely different person. Those 4 people that were inside Maria, and they were planning and scheming things to help Maria finally get to the truth. And, of course, get the villain in the end, who was the head doctor. So Takano said, "Sorry for the wait, let's go." He got his jacket on, and we're going to take the Maria statue to the priest, since it's a special item from France. Maybe we can glue those pieces back together again. But yeah, the reason Maria was written on one of those shards was it was actually written on the statue itself, and it had nothing to do with the actual girl named Maria here in the story. So that was like a little bit of a misdirect. So we were just talking here to the priest, and he's thankful that everything ended well. And we're going to give him the Maria statue, which I guess is quite important to him. I guess maybe they had it in France with them and brought it to Japan when they came to Japan. So he's got something special he wants to show the 2 of us today. Come inside. How beautiful. Got a Christmas tree set up. Just gonna put the statue there in front of the tree. Often Maria's parents sat there in that chair, he's saying. Here, my mother and father. She's gonna sit there and pray for her parents. Saying goodbye to my mother and father, and a secret wish. So yeah, she probably has a thing for Takano. Probably also she prayed for all the help that he gave her in the end in solving the mystery and bringing the murderer to justice So that is it, everybody. The end of Maria, Kimitachi ga Umareta Wake. I know it says wake, W-A-K-E. People say wake, but it is not wake, it is wake. That is the proper pronunciation of the word. But yeah, what did you guys think of this game? I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Like I said, somebody uploaded, a full playthrough of this with all the dialogue. It's like 10 plus hours long. I watched a few moments of it, and whoever played that one, they got a worse ending, I think, than I did. There are multiple endings, and I think I got a pretty good ending here. So maybe not the best one, but I definitely got a pretty good ending, I think. Maria lived, and the doctor lived, our main character, and we caught the bad guy. He got his just desserts. But yeah, because of that mix-up at the hospital, he tried to hide it. Somebody knew that he hid the fact, and he erased the data, and that was Maria's parents. So he had to go and finish them both off. And possibly as well as Takano's father, even. Because he was, another witness, and he was there at the time. And then Maria's split personalities were actually the ones that saved the day. So almost like Sherlock Holmes, knew the truth from the very beginning, in a Sherlock Holmes novel, and then tries to trick the villain into, revealing themselves. That's kind of what happened here. It was all planned from the beginning. But yeah, honestly, I don't know where her personalities came from. Here we go. They're doing a countdown.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Although, I probably should have uploaded this game for Christmas then. But this was my Halloween horror game to show you guys, so happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this game. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next Great Japan game. There's one special thing here on the menu now that we've cleared the game, so I want to show this off. Basically, this shows all the cutscenes in the game. So it's a complete showing of all the cutscenes, and I already watched this. But what's interesting is the cutscenes in this game have variations. So there are variations depending on your choices. And that's how I knew that I got a pretty good ending. And that I've definitely missed some things. So as you watch through this, notice a lot of these cutscenes we've already seen. But some of these cutscenes have slight variations in them. And the variations happen because of the choices you make as you play through the game. For example, instead of going to Maria's grave, her parents' grave, I chose to go to her school first, instead of going to the grave first. But apparently if you go to the grave first and find Maria, and then go to her school second, the nurse gives you a different picture that Maria painted. You remember when I went to the school in my playthrough, I got the picture of Set, which triggered Set to appear. But here you see a different picture. The picture of, I think that's Osiris. So Osiris would have come out in this scene instead if I had made a different choice. Whereas Set comes out if you get the other picture. So you can see the two differences there. The two different scenes depending on the picture you got from the teacher. It changes things. But yeah, I'm really curious. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this game? What do you think happened at the end? I'm really curious to know. Please tell me in the comments, your conjecture, your opinion. What do you think really happened at the end there with the doctor? Did he commit suicide on purpose, or did Horace enter him and jump off the roof? And finally, how has Maria had this different personality disorder? Or is it actually, the different gods? Like, did she pick up the spirits of these Egyptian deities when she was in Egypt with her parents when she was 5 years old? Or did she create them from the book, that her mother read to her? Did she create these 4 personalities? It's really interesting, and that's the only part of the story that I didn't get full closure on. I didn't find any information or any hint about how she got these different versions of herself. There was a quick flash of that note, by the way, which in my version, in my choices, I didn't get to read. I'm going to have to go back and pause that and see what was written in that note. But that was the note in the secret compartment in her music box. But it's interesting here at the end, you get to see all the variations in the cutscenes, like how they can slightly change depending on the choices you make. So, cool concept for a game. This sort of game is really popular in Japan. I know this day and age, young people aren't interested in kind of story-based mysteries like this. They'd rather play action games. As you can see here, the endings, there are quite a few ending variations. So I found this interesting. You can definitely see Maria's different personalities coming out there. And depending on your choices, either Maria falls off the edge, or she pushes him off the edge and kills the doctor, becoming a murderer, or she goes off the edge with Takano. I didn't get that scene of them together in the hospital. And then obviously there's a scene here where Maria apparently dies, because this is the ending scene without Maria. And they're kind of reminiscing about her with the Maria statue here. You can see sort of a memory of her. So I'm guessing that's the bad ending, where Maria actually dies. So I'm pretty glad I got a decent ending where Maria and Takano got to see the Christmas tree. Instead of just thinking about her, we got this ending where she got to come in and see the tree and pray for her long-lost parents. So yeah, definitely different endings. Bad endings, good endings. But I'm glad I got a pretty decent one to show you guys. But that is the end, guys. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you joining me on this adventure. Hope you enjoyed this story. Definitely a cool game. Cool concept. Very underrated. But yeah, make sure you leave some comments, guys. Let me know what you think happened there at the end, in my ending. If, Horace took over the head doctor and caused him to commit suicide or what, I don't know. I'm really curious about your guys' opinions. So let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching. We'll see you all in the next Japan gameplay video. じゃあ皆さん、またね. And happy Halloween, everybody.